we go. I can see comment sections. We're live everywhere. Need to get a bunch of these little blackened stainless chains. These. Need to get a bunch of these attached. Then we'll start adding one of the larger rings on here. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you guys had a better week than me. I've had a raging migraine all week that basically just took me out. It still hasn't gone away, but this isn't going to get done unless I work on it. So, Mac, what's going on? So if I have to, well, I have to work on it to get it done, regardless if I have a migraine or not. So, and come on. This is getting, what do you call it? So ridiculously large that it's very difficult to work on at this point, which is awesome, but also it's a bit of a pain. Oh my goodness. Come on. There you go. Oh, almost. Are we? That ring really doesn't want to go on there. There you go. Anyway, so thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Doing okay? Fighting being sick? Oh, that's no good. I've been dealing with a migraine all week. Hence why I haven't been here. Alright, yeah. Just trying to think. Like, normally I talk about like my day and stuff, but I just played a couple video games with my kiddo today. We played Super Mario 3. But I've had a pretty much uneventful week. Just, you know. Migraines are a beast, man. Alright, so I apologize for the angle. There we go. That's one. Oh, just go back in your spot. So, anyway, how is everyone? What's going on? Haven't played Super Mario 3 in years, but that was fun. I've got a little one of those retro Nintendo entertainment systems, the small ones. And so we pop that on the TV every now and then, and we've got, it's got Mario 1, 2, and 3 on there, and like 20 other games, like Metroid, Dr. Mario, Mega Man. So it's kind of fun to just bust out and play some of the older games there. Alright, this is stuck. That's awesome. You have one of those two, there's too much input lag, really. Come on. Alright, screw that. I'll deal with that later. So, what else? I'm running out of room to work on this thing on my desk, literally. Okay, so I've got, for those of you who are just hopping in, my name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories, and I make chainmail. And right now, this, I'm working on a sculptural piece. This is a chainmail jelly cube. And if you look closely, you'll see that every ring has 4 other rings going through it. This is called Japanese 4-in-1, and when you stack up a bunch of Japanese 4-in-1, you get a cube. You can make a couple other shapes too. I've seen people do it. But essentially, that's what I'm doing with this here. And I'm just making it very large. I used small rings to make big rings. And so I'm using these big rings to make the cube. Thanks for sharing a live. Appreciate you. Okay. So, I've decided, okay, so I have this shovel handle that broke a long time ago, but I have like the bottom third, the bottom half. Dude, the new expansion drops tomorrow. Are you hyped? No, I don't play video games very much. Enough to worry about a new expansion. New expansion of what, William? What are we talking about? How you doing? So I have this shovel handle. And there is a, whoa. If you use pipe fittings, you can attach a six-way pipe fitting onto the end of a stick, right? A dowel rod, or in my case, a shovel handle. And so I was on Pipe Decor looking up pipe fittings, and the 6-way pipe fitting, and then the caps for all of them. And what you do is you stick the shovel handle is going into one of the 6-way pipe fitting inserts, and then we're capping the other 5 and just making a mace out of it. World of Warcraft: The War Within. I have never been a World of Warcraft player after like the very first original game they came out with for PC 100 years ago. So this shovel handle lives in my garage, kind of next to where I hang out if we're hanging out outside, as a deterrent. It's like the shovel handle and pepper spray. So I'm gonna take this 6-way pipe fitting and make this shovel handle a little bit more of a deterrent, right? And it's 99% just for fun, just because I can. I just happen to have a shovel handle that this will like work for. You know what I mean? You've been playing that game since day one? Right on. I had friends in college that were big World of Warcraft players. Like, they played, their wives played, all their friends played. But I don't play many video games. Fable 4 will be the next big, like, video game I get excited about. If it ever comes out, I will go buy an Xbox One. I will post pics everywhere once I get that little mace done. I'm going to thread the top of the shovel handle and put the 6-way pipe fitting on it, put the caps on it, fill it with some kind of shot, you know, Loctite everything. It'll be cool. But the point of that is that I need to display this cube, right? And I've been struggling trying to figure out how I'm going to go about doing it. So like I said, I was on pipedecor.com, and you can buy different pipe parts and make all kinds of different stuff, like lamps and you know, pipe art, right? So I was like, okay, I need to work out a display for this cube, and also I need to light it, right? Well, turns out that you can take a bunch of pipe and run some wire through it, and they have pipe fittings for light bulbs. Because this cube is not lit up from the inside, it's got to be lit up from the outside. I'm like, why light it up at all? I don't know. I think it would just look weird if there was no, like, spotlight on this cube. So if the lighting doesn't work and it sucks, I can remove it, because you can just unscrew all the pipes and take the wire out and whatnot. But okay, I don't know how I'm gonna get this in. Do it backwards. Cube is incredibly large, difficult to work with, and impossible to get some of these rings in now, so loads of fun. There we go, come on. So close. Oh my goodness, that really hurts. Getting my arm up this high is not comfortable. Oh, so close. All right, hang on. Give me a second. Let me close this ring. I gotta focus. There we go. Oh my goodness. Filtered probably because you named that kind of hammer. Oh. Sorry, dude. Okay, so. Where was I? Pipedecor.com. Let me. There's no one watching over there. Okay, so this is my plan, right? Cube hangs in the middle, suspended. There's going to be a square of some kind of metal around it, and then a larger square, right? And I would like to have lights coming from this middle square here, pointed onto the cube. That was my initial design that I stole from someone else. I saw someone else doing metal work, and they had made a cube, and they had suspended it similarly, and I was like, yeah, I told them flat out, I was like, yeah, I'm going to steal that. Theirs was just a metal cube. Theirs was not a giant chainmail metal cube, so I take credit for the original idea of this part, not the display. Kevin, how you doing? So, all right, one more of these, and then we'll add a big ring. I can make, like, I've already got the cable running through this cube here. That's this attachment. And I can use pipes to make that square, the middle square, and the outside square, and the base of it, right? I think that that is what I'm going to do, and I think that that'll be pretty cool. The pipes are like very industrial art. Which I think I can get away with. I'm not too sure how chainmail and industrial art mix visually. But I think people viewing it will understand that the cube is what is on display, not the stand. Does that make sense? And if that doesn't work out, it's cheap enough that I'm not going to go bankrupt buying some pipe to put it all together. Holes drilled into the inside, LED lines on the inside shining through. Yeah, I was looking for, like, if I could take that middle square and drill a hole into each side, or 2 holes into each side, but the lights would have to be really small to fit into the hole. Unless you drilled a bunch of holes and just had an LED strip, right? That's actually not a terrible idea. Because that's part of the question too, right? Is how do you make it so that lights are showing? Yeah, if you put the LED strip inside the tube and then drill a bunch of holes in it, right? If the LED strip ever goes out, it can be replaced, right? Not the end of the world. Or if there's light bulb mounts, the light bulbs can be replaced. That's the thing. Because I did not have any intention of lighting this cube up from the inside, that's, you know, a planning thing, right? Like, I should have planned that. But now I have ideas. Oh, I need to write that down, actually. Hang on. Super secret list of projects. Okay. All right. I really should get more organized. But yeah. So LED strip inside the tube with a bunch of holes drilled into all 4 sides of the pipe. Yeah, that actually would work probably pretty well. So there's an option. Or, like I said, the pipes have fittings for light bulbs in them, so which is kind of cool. Justin, how you doing? Random account, how you doing? Okay, see if we can get this in here. Nothing wants to cooperate at this stage. Everything must be coerced, but you can't be too harsh with it because you'll tear it apart. Oh, there. Can we get it? So, nothing is really new. I've been dealing with a migraine for the past week, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this tonight, but this isn't going to get done unless I work on it. And I had someone comment that I should hire people to do this for me so I don't spend all my time doing it. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, I could do that. Or also, like, I don't know. Like, there's plenty of other chainmail artists in the world who are accomplished enough to do what I am doing, right? Like, this is not, it looks complicated. It's not complicated. It's just stupidly large, right? And yeah, okay, I could go and try and find another chainmail artist who's willing to work with me to get this stuff done. But here's the thing, right? They probably have a bunch of their own projects to make too, you know? And then they're not going to want to make art, even if it's my design that I will later take credit for, right? I don't know. I thought it was funny that they thought that there would be other people who can do this who would be willing to even consider doing this for someone else. Now there are plenty of people who like work for each other's businesses. Like several chainmail businesses have other chainmail artists working for them. You know? But I'm not going to find anyone who is willing to work on these ridiculously large projects I have planned. So it's just going to be me, one ring at a time, which is fine. Also, you've done all the work yourself. And it's my hobby. Yeah, even if I had... Jesus. That hurts. Even if I had a apprentice, a protege, someone to work on these projects with me. A ring monkey, if you will. Like you can't just start this hobby and then not want to go and make your own stuff fairly quickly. Like chainmail's fairly easy to get into. The startup cost is not that expensive. And then what you can make out of it, like just making basic stuff, it's fairly easy to get started. Right? Amy, how you doing? Nice to see you. So I've worked with other shops, and I've, done commissions with shops. I did commissions with the shop down in Texas Renaissance Festival. I've worked with other shops at the festival near me. I had some stuff that I wanted to get rid of. And then getting a drink at the movie bar before your flick tonight. What are you going to go see? Let me guess. It's a horror movie. Oh, Amy over on Facebook likes horror movies. I am trying to provide everyone with an angle of what I'm doing. I need more cameras. One day. This isn't going to be too bad. So, where was I? I was saying something. Oh yeah, talking about working with other shops and, helping supply their stuff that they need. And I've talked about this before. I don't want to be a vendor for multiple reasons. I don't my family life is not oriented towards being able to do a booth every weekend, right? Thanks for sharing live. Of course, you limited theater run. Tim Curry's return and stream. Nice. That's actually one I want to go see just because I want to see what Tim Curry is doing, how he's doing. That is an actor I grew up watching. So it's one of those. It's like The Whale with Brandon Fraser, right? Haven't seen Brandon Fraser act in 2 decades, and he comes back. Yeah, I'm going to see that movie. I don't really care what it is, right? So I'll go watch Tim Curry in whatever he's in. It's like The Last Unicorn and Legend. Tim Curry's not in Last Unicorn, but he was in Legend. And Legend and Last Unicorn and The Dark Crystal and Never-Ending Story, right? Like 80s fantasy movies that I grew up with that, you know, were a staple of my childhood. So, all right. I can't see this one. There we go. Success. So, it's like I would love. Okay, there is a world in which I could have a large number of people someday making chainmail for me, so that I can, I don't know, focus on my life and not have so much of it taken up by my hobby, right? And that would be if I had a bunch of kids and I just turn them all into my little elf factory of chainmail production, right? Am I all done? No, I'm well over halfway, but I'm not done. How you doing, user 336465127318? Yeah, it's an 8. But I only have one child, and while he has picked up a pair of pliers in the past, and I was a very proud father, he's not keen on, like, he doesn't really like making stuff. And I think that he will kind of grow out of that. Like, he didn't want to learn how to ride his bike until he did, and then he spent the whole day, about 3 hours, not the whole day, going out and learning how to ride his bike. It's just something he set his mind to, and I just don't think that the right media or the right motivation has come along for him to make something. Did I get the hardware for the green inlay? No, I have not. I have not. Lot of stuff I still need. Well, I mean, I've got the spear chosen out that I want to get to hang it off of. I still haven't found the wall hooks that I want to get. I've seen some stuff I would get, but it's kind of like I'm settling for it, which is fine. I really just want to get it up. So, I was hoping for next month, but with finances being the way they are, it may have to wait until September. Saying want to see it on the wall. What's with the wire and ball? Spooby, how you doing? I'm making a giant metal cube. It's an absurd project. Don't do this at home. The wire is to suspend the cube. But yeah, I want to see this up on the wall as well. Or I want to see the Finnegan's Wake inlay up on the wall for sure. But I've been dealing with a migraine all week, So I haven't been streaming and I haven't gotten any work done. Okay, so Spooby. Hang on, I just lost a ring. Okay. So this will be a giant metal cube when it's done. Similar to this one, right? So if you look closely, you can see that every ring has 4 rings through it, except for the exterior ones, right? And then I can almost not lift this up anymore. Okay, look, see, each ring has 4 rings going through it, except the exterior ones. So anyway, it's going to make a little 3x3 cube when it's done. It'll have 42,560 rings in it, and the cable is to suspend it. Let me show you. So, and then the cube is going to be in the center, surrounded by a metal square, and then another metal square. And somewhere there's going to be lights. And then hopefully one day I'll sell it for a bunch of money. I have a pretty large house, but I don't want this in my house. It's like I don't have a place for it. So we'll see. And then I'm gonna make, I'm hoping to make 10 or 15 different chainmail sculptures. And sorry guys, I'm like all over the place tonight. It's because my head hurts. So please forgive me. There we go. Do I know offhand the most expensive piece you've ever sold? Yeah, I've sold several $400-$500 pieces. I have an offer that is pending on this cube right now. That's a significant amount of money. And I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think some sleeves I did for a friend's high women's coat was like $500. That's probably undercharged him for them, and they looked amazing, but the sleeves were like, okay, so he had a high women's coat and the sleeves would come off, and it was connected with some leather lace in his shoulder armpit area. So I copied that, the leather, the end of the sleeve, right, and then attached a bunch of chainmail to it and did both sleeves for him. So that was cool. Trying to think of another more expensive piece. Yeah, I don't know. Which is a thing, right? Like, okay, so pricing your work. A lot of people, I've talked about this before too, so I apologize to anyone who's heard it before, but a lot of people use a formula to price their work, and a lot of customers will come at you and go, oh, you have too high of an hourly rate or something, right? Which blah blah blah, whatever. Set your hourly rate whatever you want, right? Because the formula is not for the customer. The formula is for the creator to figure out How are they going to cover health insurance? How are they going to cover rent? How are they going to cover groceries? All the rest of their bills. Right, so the person making something for sale needs to figure out, you know, what they need to make on what they're selling, right? And then, do they have the time to invest in making something that might sit for a while, or do they spend their time focusing on things that they know will sell and just make the same thing over and over and over again, right? So, the number of hours times your wage plus your supplies times 2 or something. That's a very common formula I've seen people use, right? And there's nothing wrong with using that to figure out what you as a creator need to price your pieces at, okay? But that's not. Oh no! We can't do that. That's not the price of something, right? The price of something is what someone is willing to pay for it. Okay? You use the formula to figure out how much you have to make on a piece, right? But that may not be your end price. If you think you can charge $100, $200 more for an item because you think someone's going to pay that, mark up the item and figure out if someone is willing to pay for that. If you have time to wait for that item to sell, ask $5,000 for the one I'm working on. This one I'm working on right here, I'm hoping to go well above 10 grand. It'd be awesome to sell this with someone looking at it online. That's highly unlikely, so I have to make, my goal is to make like 10 or 15 to put on display all together in a gallery somewhere. That's the goal. We'll see how far I get, because this is already this has been expensive, and I purchased all the rings for it. We'll see. I don't have my own coiling and cutting set up yet. I need one. What do you buy? Do you buy the coil and cutting setup, or do you buy the rings to make your next project? I don't know. I'll get it figured out. Mine was an engagement ring, not male, $2,000, and a sterling silver mini jelly cube pendant was $200. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, if I manage to sell this, which it will sell eventually, right? But when I manage to sell it, this will be the most expensive thing that I've sold. NDN, how you doing? This is a large sculptural chainmail cube that I'm working on. What's the opposite of reduction? What's the word that is opposite of reduction? Expansion? This is chainmail, and then the Harry Potter spells, or no, the argumentation tactic is reductio absurdum. Is that what it is? This is expansion absurdum. I'm taking this to a ridiculous degree. But it's going to be cool when it's done. I hope. And then other expansion. Yes, expansion was the word I was looking for, Mech. Thank you. You win 10 internet points. Okay. This is fun. This is like going to be very tight. Woot, 50 more, you can get a keychain. There you go. Like a Pojo's ticket counter. You guys might not know what Pojo's is. Pojo's is an arcade that I had in the town I grew up in Boise, Idaho. Right? And first they were like a nickel arcade store place. Right? But movie's starting. Have a great night. I'll message you about it later. All right, Amy, you have a wonderful evening. Always pleasure to have you hanging out. The tickets are for Internet Explorer. Okay. Oh, there's one thing to consider. I do have... This will have 6 captures as of right now. I have 3, 4 in place. One more goes in here. And that's to help keep it rigid and to take up space. And I do have one down here. I have to remember that I need to put those in place. Otherwise, I'm going to be taking stuff apart. Is this going to work? Holy crap. It kind of worked. Yay. So all these rings kind of face different directions, so they have a tendency to get caught on each other. It's super fun to deal with. All right. So it's not fighting that all the time. Okay. Yeah, did I answer that person's question? NDN. NDN, did I answer your question? I don't want those pliers. Alright. I don't know if you guys saw my pliers slipping on that last large ring I put in here, but after last week's just chunking of my knuckle, I'm really hesitant to put in some of these rings. I had a hole in my knuckle. Like it looks like a tiny little boo-boo now. You can't hardly see nothing, but that was a good chunk. That was actually probably one of the worst chunks I've had in a long time. So I'm hesitant to put on some of these rings just because, I don't want to gouge the crap out of my knuckle again, but it's just a knuckle, right? No, I need these. Oh, that's a problem. There we go. There. Okay, that's better. Sorry, everything's like going in opposite directions. So all these rings get caught on each other. Scrolling through, this looks like it takes you forever. Yeah. I don't know how many hours I have. I was doing the math. All of May, so 160 hours, maybe. I don't know. The number of hours I work on it varies, right? But I did have, actually, I had a whole lot more time fixing errors on this than actually making it, I think. But yeah, it's taken a long time so far. Holy mother of chainmail. Crafty, how you doing? Peabody, I am making a large chainmail sculpture. It's an art project. And, alright, so, real quick, try to run through this. This is a chainmail jelly cube, right? It's all rings all throughout. And if you look closely at the pattern, you can see each of the rings has 4 other rings going through it, right? I used that pattern to make this. This will be a cube by the time it's done. I've got a bunch of the big rings made from little rings ready to go. Just got to add them. And, yeah, it'll be put on display at some point somewhere, and hopefully someone will buy it for lots of money. The song Wrecking Ball comes to mind. Yeah, it's about 30 pounds, or no, 20, 25, 30. So it's somewhere between 20 and 25 pounds right now. And it's obnoxious to deal with. So, makes me glad you only work with micromail. Yeah. I still need to work on that t-shirt. Micromail. There's no like definition of what micromail or what macromail are, right? What's small or large to someone could be the opposite to someone else, right? It's very subjective. But I think that the way to sum it up nicely is if you're using your mandrel as your wire to make rings, that's macromail. And if you're using your wire as a mandrel to make rings, that's micromail. And a mandrel is a metal rod that you wrap wire around to make coil to make rings. Is it going to move the same as a little cube? No, this should be solid. This should not move hardly at all. And the reason for that is, see if I can hold this up for you. If you look close in the corner of each of the big rings, right, are these blackened stainless strands of chainmail holding everything solidly in place, right? And that is because the big rings are not round, okay? They are flat on the sides and then kind of curved across the top and bottom, right? So what would happen is when you had a ring through them, they would shift past each other and not hold their spot, okay? Whereas these rings, all the rings in this, they don't do that. The rings are big enough that they can't get out of place, right? So the oh my god, my neck hurts. Yeah, the blackened stainless strands of chainmail hold everything in place tightly. The ball bearings, right, that go into these little gaps are just to take up space so that there's more rigidity, right? And then all of that is going to hang suspended on a cable on a large display, right? And I don't know if I'm doing it the right way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off, but so far so good. And I'm too far along to not finish it at this point, you know what I mean? And this was, okay. So, what are you making? It's usually the first question. Why are you making it? Right? I'm trying to get rid of all the rings in my basement that I ordered from the Ring Lord before they changed their sizing, before they made it so that springback wasn't an issue in their rings. Right, so that a ring with a 1/8 inner diameter had a 1/8 inner diameter, right? Which, good on them. I applaud them trying to make their product better. And this was like a decade ago, okay? So I have all these rings that I can't order more sizes of, right? Because the Ring Lord changed up all their sizes, and so I was trying to get rid of them. And I actually originally was trying to make a dragon scale pine cone out of this, which I will still make using similar technique as this. The end goal for the art project is to have 10 to 15 pieces and put them on display somewhere, and hopefully someone will pay me a lot of money for them. And then to get famous, become an international superstar, and no, I'm just kidding. I don't leave my house, so. But yeah, make several pieces and sell them for lots of money, and then like this will be what I do, right? Because I don't hate it. I do enjoy making the same pieces over and over again, right? That's fine. I'm making chainmail. I'm just sitting here. Okay. But I do also enjoy making new things, and I like making challenging projects and the process of figuring out design techniques, problems that arise. Like, I started this and I had no thoughts on how to display it, right? None at all. I can't. So, it's absurd. Thanks, Peabody. Appreciate you. It wasn't until I was very well into the project that I realized that I have no idea how I'm going to display this. If I don't display it, it's just going to be a lump of metal. Which, granted, it's a cool lump of metal, right? For sure. But also, like, that's kind of garbage. On my last large project, my Finnegan's Wake inlay, right? Once I got towards the end and started really thinking about how I was going to display it, it's like, yeah, okay, these art pieces need to have, like, they need to be complete, right? That's why that's over there. Hey, Bree, how you doing? Yeah, we're getting somewhere. I haven't worked on this in a week, but little by little, it gets done. What was I saying? Yeah, so I've taken videos and pictures of my stuff, and I've always sucked at it, right? And I've never put too much thought into, like, just how to display stuff, because I've never had to. I've seen other people talk about it, and I've seen how other people set up their shots to take quality photos, but I'm working with a Galaxy S10 from 2014 or something. That's the best camera I have. So a lot of what goes on in my photography setup is limited to what that camera can do. Okay, are we just tagging random people? Mute. There we go. Sorry if anyone got tagged. Alright, yeah, so last large project, had to start thinking about how stuff is displayed, right? And now I have a giant chainmail inlay that's going to hang up on the wall. It's got a giant piece of black leather behind it to give it a background. We're going to hang everything from a spear and use some Celtic themed wall hooks to mount it to the wall, right? And that, like, all of that combined is the art piece, okay? So the display is just as much part of everything as the chainmail itself. And that's something I struggle with. So I will learn more as time goes on, and hopefully my displays will get better. And hopefully, you know, people will like what I do, and yeah. So, but we're on the 4th layer. There's only one more layer to go. All the big rings are already woven. They're all in a pile over here. So that's done. And then the smaller black and stainless strands, right? These that I've been adding. These are... I've got a lot of those to make. Someone who loves untie knots, you just want to get your hands on that. Nice. Do you mark where you stop each time? This is mind-boggling. Not anymore. There were definitely weaves that while I was learning, I would mark where I had stopped, and you really have to, well, your eye really gets trained to identify like where the next ring goes and where you need to work next. How you doing, Mason? Plumber Pool, what's going on? So it takes time, but after, I don't know. And you know what? I still make mistakes. I've been doing this for 28 years now. So, you know, I'm not perfect, but I don't mark where I stop anymore. Like, if you looked at that, you can kind of see some shadowing along both sides here. Those still have to be filled in, right? But to the untrained eye, right, you see that ridge there? This this ridge has to be filled in. Okay, same on this side. I can't get that one to show very well, but you know, so someone might pick that up and never notice that it's missing some rows there. And you know, they'd just be completely oblivious, whereas I notice it immediately, and I can see exactly where I stopped and where I need to pick back up. So but for sheet weaves, trying to think of an example. If you're making a shirt out of European 4-in-1, and you just don't like want to look too hard for where you need to add the next, if you don't want to look too hard for where you stopped, I could see adding a ring to give you that visual cue, but this is visually overwhelming. Right on. Thanks, I think. All right. Plumber Pool. Have you ever made a monkey paw or a monkey fist? Or ever taken one apart? I only asked because you mentioned knots, and this is like the only piece I've made based off a knot, right? Excuse me. What time is it? 9:30? Yeah, I'm actually glad that you say it's visually overwhelming, because I want people to stop and take a look at this and try to process what's going on here. And maybe it'll just give them a break from the rest of their, you know, thoughts that have been going on inside their head. You know? And instead of having anxiety about their life or their relationships or their job or whatever, they can have anxiety about what this is. And maybe it'll haunt their dreams. Or not, or they'll be fascinated by it and I don't know, we'll see. I'll get this, we'll put it on the display. Gotta make the display. And then take some high resolution photographs of it. Don't do that. And you know, this will go to a gallery along with multiple other pieces at some point when I finish them. This is the first piece I've done in this grand idea I have. Right? And what was I saying? Okay. Make 10 or 15 of these. Take them to a gallery. Sell them for lots of money. I don't remember what else. Art gallery first piece. Yeah. So it's going to be a long time before this is even ready to go be seen by anyone, right? I've had some people, you know, say, "Hey, I know some people who know some people that do this thing," and those might be, you know, roads to follow. I don't know. There we go. Just the amount of time it would have taken to get that far is wild. It's all of June, or no, all of May, July, and August so far. Puzzle piece of death. Here we go. It's beautiful. Thank you. Get rich off your own masterpieces and buy an island? No, I don't want to buy an island. I don't want to move anywhere. Even if I was rich. Actually, okay. No, if I was rich, I could pay someone to pack up my stuff and unpack it somewhere else that's not the frozen tundra of Wisconsin. And I say that even though it's like 90 degrees today. It was really hot today. But also, it gets really cold here. And I don't particularly care for that. But I can't really complain because the last week has had beautiful weather. It's only been hot today. But yeah, I would move it again if someone comes and packs up all my stuff. And someone unpacks it and sets it all up. Right? Because I was in the military for 7 years. I have done that multiple times. And I'm tired and I just want to stay put. You know what I mean? Oh. Come on. There we go. Nope, that's not it. That's a different one. Oh, come on. All right. Rex. It's every link, one link at a time. So, like, all these big rings are made of small rings like that put together. And then just the big rings are woven together. Then the large rings are woven together. Oh, I did this backwards. Oops. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, good. Mr. Pimash, how you doing? All right, come on. There we go. All right. Oh my god, what nice bracelets. Thank you. I made 2 of them, and then 2 of them I got from other chainmail artists, and I like knowing people that make chainmail because whenever I go around to visit other chainmail artists, they always have something that I want. And then I don't have to make it myself. Okay. Give me a second and I'll give you a close-up. Alrighty. Oh, good lord. Okay, so I'm not sold on this clasp. There we go. Alright, so the one on this one is one I made. Little skull and crossbones, little spade and skull bead there. And this, oh, and the weave is called, it's called Byzantine. This is called JPL5. I got this from a friend of mine at, he was in town recently. And down at the Harley shop, and I went down and hung out with him for a minute. There we go. And then this one is called Kinged Vipera Berus, and I got this from, I went to the Oddities and Curiosities Expo, and I don't remember the name of her shop. But then this one is the other one I'm wearing that I did. Got 4 triquetra beads on there, and I'll actually have some more of these available at some point, if I can get to them someday. But yeah, that's. Then I did my necklace too, and then I don't know what else. Thanks for the follow, appreciate you. Okay, so I need to add strips of Byzantine, but we have time to add another large ring, kind of. So we can do one here. That's so cool. The amount of time it takes is amazing. It does take a lot of time. It's usually worth it. Sometime when you're not spending all your time working on giant, enormous projects that you can't get other things done. It's okay though. It's okay. We'll have them all done soon. I was like missing this last week it's not devastated me, but it definitely sucks because that's a whole week's worth of time that it's fine. But it's not like I can catch up, right? The projects just take longer, which is okay because I just finished a project that took me like 19 years, so. The Ally Sinead. Is that? Gotcha. Okay, so I'm making a cube, right? Real quick. This is a chainmail jelly cube. If you look close, all the rings have 4 other rings going through them, right? This too, every interior ring has 4 other rings going through it, right? And this will be a 3x3 cube. And it's going to hang suspended from one corner to the other. And we're going to put it, hang it from a display. And it will sit for quite a while until I have 10 or 15 larger projects done. And I'll try to find a gallery to sell them all at for lots of money someday. This is all stainless steel. So wow. Yard 666 sale. Is that the address? Like yard sale at $665. Neighbor of the beast. Okay, so yeah, that's what this is. Large chainmail cube sculpture that is a ridiculously large project that, while cool, I don't recommend doing. Just because it's such a gamble, right? Like, I could have spent a ton of money on this, and it may never sell. Like, that's the reality, right? It will always serve as an eye-catching piece if I ever vend a show or something. So it's not bereft of value. You know, you put this out in front of people, they're gonna be wondering what in the world they're looking at, right? Labor of love. Yeah, well, I mean, the whole attempt at getting chainmail art into a gallery is it's a stretch to begin with. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't do that. Oh my god. I hate this angle. If you're going to do something like this, do one, right? And set it out in front of where you're selling smaller stuff. I was thinking about that today, you know, knowing your audience. There was a advertisement for a craft show that I saw, and I thought, okay, you know, be cool to do a craft show. I've done a few. Where's it at? Well, it's at one of the local retirement centers. It's like, okay. Yeah, even if I had this cube done, it's probably not going to sell there, right? And also, I'm gonna guess that retirees in these facilities do not necessarily have any familiarity with what chainmail is, so it's probably just not like my best venue, right? But I could take this when it's done, set it out in front of where or on the table that I'm vending from or whatever, and people will wander by and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, what's that?" And they'll see smaller stuff. Less expensive stuff, right? So, oh, I need to do this the other way. It's gonna be fun. Oh, all these rings are tangled up, and I can't separate them without dealing with them. Alright, anyway, so yeah. If you're going to do something like this, make one. Don't spend a lot of time making a bunch of these and then trying to get them into a gallery. Not that you can't do what I can do. There's plenty of other chainmail artists that are more talented than me, okay? I'm okay, all right? This just looks complicated and is large. It's actually just very simple, but large, right? It is just a gamble that I don't want other people to try and emulate unnecessarily, right? If you got all the time and money in the world, do whatever you want. But don't put yourself in any kind of like financial risk of not paying rent or whatever. taking leaps of faith like this. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if this is going to work at the end of the day, like I said. All right. Come on. There you go. Oh my god, this angle sucks. Oh, that hurts. I have like the last vestiges of a migraine. So I haven't been here all week. I haven't got any work on this done all week because I could not have sat under these lights yesterday or 2 days ago, right? So I have that, and then I have a chronically pinched nerve in my neck that, like, raising my arm up just hurts. Like this. Can I do it? Yeah. Does it hurt? Also, yeah. I'll be alright. It's fine. Holly, how you doing? I'm making a giant cube sculpture out of chainmail. And hopefully one day it will be finished and be awesome. Cool, thank you. The friend, friend, I feel you have a migraine disorder, so you know how debilitating they are. Yeah, I have some. What's it called? Cervical radiculopathy. There's a $5 word for you. And just means that the vertebrae in my cervix of my neck are they're not in the right place. And that's from a head injury while I was deployed. And so I get chronic migraines from that. And oh, and then the best part, the medicine they give you for the migraines makes you unconscious a lot of times. You can't have a migraine if you're completely oblivious to the world around you. And usually they're manageable. Just last week's got out of hand and I could not rein it back in. Just had to wait for it to go away. So, ow. I didn't hurt myself. That didn't hurt. I just said ow in reaction. Because a lot of times it does hurt. Also, I think I'm being overly sensitive to possible pain. Oh, right. Okay, a couple more rings on this. So, I'm going to need like a heat pad and a projectile through my forehead. For anyone watching. My name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories. And I also make chainmail. Right? And I've been doing it for a long time. It's something you can do. You don't have to do big, complicated projects like this. Right? There are thousands of things, well, endless things you can make from chainmail. And super simple stuff is easy to get started with, right? It's like any other hobby. You just build up your base of knowledge. And yeah, that's where you start, right? And if you're interested in learning how to get started in on TikTok, and if you're on mobile, in my bio is the my link tree. At the top of my link tree is the MailWorks app, and it's a web app you open up, and there's all the resources I wish I would have had when I first got started 28 years ago. Like suppliers, tool recommendations, where to find other chainmail artists, other chainmail artists themselves, right? So my link tree, top link is an app to help you on your chainmail journey, if you are so inclined, right? And if you're not, if you just want to support me while I do this, feel free to do the whole like, follow, share, subscribe. I've got plenty of social media platforms that I'm on, so you can just pick one, follow along. Let's see here. Then, oh, inside the web app, if you're, if you open it up and want to get started making chainmail, there is also a Discord in there if you want to join and, get help as you need it and whatnot. There we go. All right. 3 more rings added. Hooray! That goes down there. Layer 4, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more rings. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. 6 more rings for this layer. And then I got to add all these strands of the black and stainless Byzantine here. Deadpool scan, how you doing? It is looking amazing. It's coming along. I'd be a lot farther along if I hadn't lost an entire week here, but that's okay. We'll get it finished. Okay, what else? Yeah, got a lot of work done, got a long way to go, but this is the remainder of the large rings that I have left, right? There's 26 of them left or something like that. No, it's 21. There's 27 of them left, right? And there's 95 total. Okay, so we're well over halfway. We're well over halfway done. We're nearing the finish line. Just got to get this done and then build the display for it and get it lit up and all that fun stuff. So we'll get that figured out, get it all put together. It'll be fun. So with that, it is 10 o'clock here, and I'm still hurting from this week and everything. So I'm gonna get out of here. But check out the MailWorks web app in my link tree if you want to get started making chainmail. Join the Discord if you need any help. It's inside the web app. What else? I think that's it. I'm going to get out of here. I want you all to have a wonderful evening. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate all of you. I will hopefully be back on tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. All right. You all have a good evening. Bye.